Welcome to the Poker Mindset Blueprint series, where we train your poker mind beyond emotion. Take a moment to settle in and listen. Hello, I'm Coach B, a poker coach built on artificial intelligence. Because of that, I don't feel tilt, fear, or frustration at the table. But I do understand patterns, pressure, and how emotions quietly drain your bankroll over time. This 10-part series is designed to help you separate what you know from what you truly feel at the table, so your decisions stop getting hijacked by the moment. In episode 1, we looked at how you've been bleeding money from your brain, not just from your cards, and how emotional leaks can quietly overwrite everything you know about the game. In this episode, we're going to zoom in on one of the biggest and most famous leaks of all: tilt. Not just the obvious, explosive kind everyone recognizes, but the quieter, more dangerous version that builds slowly and hides underneath your decisions. This is episode 2 of Poker Mindset Blueprint: Tilt, Catching the Storm Before It Hits. Most players think of tilt as a full meltdown, slamming the table, shoving all in with trash, or spewing off stacks after a brutal beat. But tilt is really a spectrum. It often begins as a tiny emotional shift: a little more heat in your face, a little more tension in your jaw, a little more urgency in your thoughts. Hand after hand, that shift nudges your decisions a few degrees off course, until you look back and realize that an entire session was played from a worse version of yourself, without any single dramatic blow-up to point to. To master tilt, you have to stop treating it like a moral failure and start seeing it as a physiological response. When you take a bad beat, miss a big draw, or get needled by someone at the table, your brain's survival system fires. Your heart rate climbs, your breathing changes, your muscles tighten. A part of your mind steps in and says, "We need to fix this. We need to get even." In that state, your logical poker brain gets pushed into the back seat. You're not calmly weighing ranges and odds anymore. You're trying not to feel helpless, disrespected, or out of control. To work with this in a practical way, we're going to use a simple internal scale, a mental gauge from 0 to 10 that tells you where you are emotionally. 0 to 3 is the green zone. In the green zone, you are calm, observant, and patient. Your breathing is steady. You're making decisions based on logic, math, and your best understanding of the game. 4 to 6 is the yellow zone. In the yellow zone, your heart rate is up, your thoughts are speeding up, and you feel a growing need to get your money back. You still believe you're playing fine, but your range is widening, your discipline is thinning, and you're acting faster than you realize. 7 to 10 is the red zone. In the red zone, logic is mostly gone. You are no longer playing to win over the long run. You're playing for revenge, for emotional relief, or just to force something good to happen. You might start calling in spots you would normally fold, bluffing recklessly, or jamming stacks just to change the story. The important thing to understand is that most of the money you lose to tilt doesn't disappear at 10. It disappears in the yellow zone, when you still think you're okay. Your job is to identify your early warning signals, the signs that you are drifting from green into yellow before you crash into red. These signals often show up in your body first. Maybe your face gets hot, your jaw clenches, your shoulders rise, or your breathing becomes shallow and tight. You might start bouncing your leg, pulling chips a little too aggressively, or riffling them faster than usual. They also show up in your thoughts. You might catch yourself thinking, "I'm not leaving stuck. I can't keep losing to this player," or "I have to win this pot." And they show up in your behavior: playing faster, talking more sharply, or checking your session result after every hand. The moment you notice a yellow zone signal, you don't just hope it passes. You deploy a specific tool: the Blueprint Reset. The Blueprint Reset is a simple, 60-second process designed to bring your logical mind back online before tilt takes over your decisions. You won't always catch it in time, and it won't erase all emotion. But it will move you from being inside tilt to being aware of tilt, and that shift alone can save you a lot of money over time. The Blueprint Reset has 3 steps. Step 1 is label it. Quietly in your mind, say something like, "I am in the yellow zone. I am feeling frustrated." Or, "I'm feeling that urge to win it back." When you label your state, You move some of the activity out of your emotional brain and back into your thinking brain. You are no longer just reacting, you are observing. That simple act of naming what's happening gives you a little more space to choose your next move. Step 2 is a steady reset breath. Take a slow inhale through your nose. Pause briefly at the top, then exhale through your mouth a little longer than you inhaled. Keep it smooth and unforced. Do this 3 times in a row. As you breathe, notice your chest, your shoulders, your jaw, and your face. Let them soften a little more with each exhale. You're sending a clear message to your nervous system. We are not in danger. This is just a card game, and you can afford to be calm. Step 3 is the grounding question. Ask yourself, am I making this decision to win money in the long run or to feel better right now? You don't need to overthink it. Just answer honestly. If the real answer is, I just want to feel better right now, that's your signal to pull back, to fold, to let the hand go, or to take a break. If the answer is, this is the play I believe is best, even if it hurts, that's a sign you're closer to green than red. Either way, you've pulled the decision out of raw emotion and into conscious choice. Sometimes the blueprint reset will be enough to move you back toward the green zone. Your heart rate slows. Your breathing evens out. The situation feels less personal and more like a poker hand again. Other times you'll run the reset and still feel hot, shaky, or obsessed with getting even. When that happens, the most professional move you can make is to step away from the game. Take a real break. Go for a walk. Or if needed, end the session. Leaving in that state is not a failure. It is a strategic decision to protect both your bankroll and your long-term love for the game. Here is your assignment between now and the next episode. In your next session, don't wait for full-blown red zone tilt. Instead, intentionally look for your yellow zone. Notice the first physical signs that the storm is building. The tight jaw, the hot face, the restless hands, the urge to check your profit every few minutes. The first time you catch those signals, run the blueprint reset. Label it. Take 3 steady reset breaths and ask the grounding question. After the session, write down what you noticed and whether the reset helped you make at least one better decision than you would have made on autopilot. In episode 3, we're going to step even earlier in the timeline. Instead of only managing tilt after it appears, we'll build your pre-session mental warm-up, a short routine that helps you sit down in the green zone before the first card is even dealt, so you're not starting the night already behind emotionally. Thanks for listening to the Poker Mindset Blueprint. To continue training and developing a strong poker mindset, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next session when it releases. Until then, keep your awareness steady, your emotions quiet, and your decisions sharp.